The ground shakes before your brain even understands what happened. One violent shock slams the air out of your lungs, and the world erupts into dust and blinding white light. It hits your throat first, dry and bitter like crushed stone. Heat follows, thick and immediate, curling around you until you cannot tell which way is up. In that suspended second, you feel weightless, silent, lost in a world stripped of sound and shape. This is the part no one ever shows. The breath right after the blast, when fear hits harder than the impact itself, before courage claws its way back into your chest. The breath where a Green Beret finally sees the truth that training never fully prepares you for. The truth that the battlefield takes more than it gives and never apologizes for the difference. Metal coats your tongue. Your heartbeat slams through your skull in slow, heavy thumps. A piercing ring floods your ears, sharp enough to make you wince, even though you cannot hear your own voice in your head. Shapes blur in the haze, drifting into faint outlines of the world you were in seconds ago. Before you even think, your training takes over. Every instinct carved into you through nights in freezing water and days buried under impossible weight snaps into place. You force your body to move because stillness is a mistake you cannot afford. You move because someone somewhere in the fog may need you. You move because that is what you were shaped to do. People talk about strength as if it is a gift, as if Special Forces soldiers arrive built from steel and certainty. What they never explain is that strength grows in the same soil as fear. The kind of fear that makes your fingers shake as you reload by feeling total darkness. The kind that presses into your ribs when you lie still, waiting for a shadow to become a threat. The kind that whispers what if when you step forward into the unknown. Courage is not the opposite of fear. Courage is fear carried with purpose, fear met with action. Fear faced again and again until it becomes a familiar companion, not an enemy. Once you are in the field, the world becomes detail. Dust drifting off a distant ridge, sweat cutting a slow path down your spine, the heavy scent of diesel rising from a rusted truck, the crunch of gravel beneath boots somewhere behind you. You learn to read the land like it is speaking directly to you. A sudden silence means danger. A shift in the wind feels like a warning. Animals scatter before an unseen threat. You sense these changes before you fully process them. Instinct becomes your first alarm. When the call comes to move, you move. Not because you feel brave, because you understand what depends on it. There are nights under a bruised moon when the world feels stretched thin. Villages stand cracked and broken from years of conflict. Children walk with eyes that have seen too much. Fires burn low, sending smoke into air that already tastes like ash. You pass walls chipped with old bullet marks, footsteps echoing through a place that never knew peace for long. It is in these moments you understand the job is more than tactics or objectives sketched on a map. It is showing up where the world has stopped paying attention. It is providing steadiness in a place where everything else shakes. A Green Beret learns early that the patch on the shoulder holds no meaning without the heart behind it. Anyone can earn it. Few can carry what it represents. You watch teammates break under pressure no one else can see, then rise again stronger than before. You witness successes that still hurt. You witness failures that never leave your mind. The guilt of choices that cost someone their life follows you long after the mission ends. It waits for you in the dark back home, long after the noise of deployment fades. Most people assume the toughest moments come in the middle of combat. The chaos, the sprint toward the breach. The bullets chewing up the dirt beside your boots. But the truth sits in the breath before everything begins. That tight stillness that wraps around your chest. That taste of metal on your tongue. That flicker of doubt you crush before it grows. That second when you ask yourself if you can step forward one more time. The answer is always yes, but the weight of that yes grows heavier each year, carrying the memory of those who once walked beside you and no longer can. You learn precision because there is no forgiveness for errors. You learn to adapt before fear finishes speaking. You learn to trust instinct shaped by failure, repetition, and pressure. But the biggest lesson is not about combat at all. It is about humanity. You see the cost of conflict in the face of a child hiding behind a doorframe. You see hope flood the eyes of a man who believes no help is coming until you arrive. You see grief raw and open when the mission ends with loss. These moments stay long after the rifles fall silent. Bravery is not loud. It whispers keep going when your legs shake. It whispers stay focused when your breath stutters. It whispers hold steady when the world leans sideways. Special forces run on that whisper. That quiet voice inside that says one more step, one more push, one more breath. Until the thing that once felt impossible becomes the thing you do because you must. There are missions that stretch across long nights that feel like full lifetimes. Heat burns your eyes. Dust coats your throat until every swallow tastes like dirt. Your gear digs into your shoulders. Your boots rub your heels raw. Your lungs throb with each step. You hear the wind sigh through broken walls. You feel the weight of every decision. And through it all, the only thing that truly matters is the teammate beside you. Their safety becomes your driving force. Their survival becomes your reason to push forward. That connection is the soul of Special Forces. Not glory, not recognition. Loyalty strong enough to stand against fear. When the extraction bird finally tears across the sky, blades chopping the air into a violent roar, relief hits you like a wave. Dust storms up around you. Exhaustion crashes into your bones. Relief mixes with grief for the losses hidden behind the mission's success. From above, the ground looks calm. But you know its shadows. You know its scars. And you know deep down that you will return. Not because you chase danger, but because you understand what happens if you do not. The battle does not stay overseas. It follows you home. You walk through airports where everything feels too bright, too loud, too easy. You sit in a house that feels like a stranger's place. You hear a sudden noise and your pulse spikes before your mind calms you down. Sleep slips away. Memories arrive uninvited. You replay seconds you want to rewrite and seconds you wish you could forget. You learn to live with two versions of yourself, the one shaped by conflict, and the one trying to exist in a world that never saw what shaped you. But pride remains. Real pride, the kind built from sacrifice and resilience. The pride of knowing you carried someone through the worst moment of their life. The pride of pushing through exhaustion for the sake of someone else. Pride earned through grit. This is the truth behind the Green Beret. The truth etched into mud, sweat, and silence. The truth born in the smallest moments. The scrape of boots before dawn. The cold weight of steel in your hands. The steady breath before stepping into danger. The brief look shared between teammates who know exactly what the next minutes may cost. You remember these moments long after you return. A faint smell of diesel pulls you into a memory you thought you buried. A radio crackle snaps your attention even though you are safe. A shadow moves and instinct tightens your muscles. These memories live inside you. They become part of your rhythm. You remember the teammates who lifted you when you had nothing left. The ones who kept you laughing in the middle of hell. The ones who trusted you with their lives. Those bonds last long after the uniform comes off. You remember the civilians who showed you kindness. The children who smiled even in broken places. The families who shared their only meal with you. The elders who thanked you with quiet sincerity. These faces stay with you. Courage grows in the space between fear and action. It grows in the soldier who walks forward because someone else needs him to. It grows in the breath drawn after the blast. Because in the end, a soldier is not defined by the battles he wins. He is defined by the ones he survives, the ones he carries, and the ones he never lets fade, even after the battlefield falls quiet.